Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
And welcome to our Tai Chi class for today. We are going to be doing a seated flow today, so have a chair handy, preferably one with no arm. And you can sit however you are most comfortable, but I like to sit forward in my chair so that I have room to bring my arms out to either side. Now, just before we start, I want to remind you, you don't have to learn anything today. You don't have to remember anything. If I go this way and you go this way, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm just glad you're here this morning. Now, I'm going to start with my hands on my knees, sitting up nice and tall, taking a deep breath in and out. And just keep breathing in and out. Opening your heart, opening your chest, opening your mind, and kind of dumping everything out that you brought in with you today. Any worries, any plans you have for later, any agenda that you have to get done today, put that aside for right now. An intention for yourself to move gently and carefully in your body, never doing anything that causes you any pain. I'm going to start with letting my hands drift down the edges of my legs and then bringing them right back up. Nice and slow, rubbing the knees, feeling the texture of my pants, the little wrinkles that form in the cloth as I move my hands, feeling the pressure on my legs underneath, waking everything up. And then on this next one, as I come back up, I'm going to flip my hands over so that the sides and backs of my hands come up onto my lap. Palms down as I go forward. And then palms up as I come back. Beautiful. One more here. And then as I come to the top, I'm going to just let my hands drop off the sides of my legs and float up towards the corners. Circling in nice and big. And then flip over and slide right down the front of my body to sink it. They reach my lap, we flip over, and we do it all again. Still breathing. I like to inhale as my arms come up and exhale as they go down. But as long as you're breathing, you're doing great. Beautiful. Last one of these. Now when my hands hit my lap this time, I'm going to slide forward again. This time I'm going to float right up in front and then pull my hands in, letting my elbows droop, and then slide back down. Sliding off the edge, floating up, and then floating in as we open the door for our practice today. Beautiful. Next up, we're going to float off the edge. And then as we come right up in front, we're going to open out really, really wide, like a big hug. And we're going to take one hand, scoop it under the other hand, scoops on top, as we come into embrace the moon. Now, on this next one, we're going to add in our foot. So we're going to come in and embrace the moon. And then as we open up, we're going to float our heels up. Beautiful. Floating the heels down as we come in, holding that moon nice and tight. And then opening everything out. Nice. Still breathing. If you're like me, you might be like, I don't want to breathe. I'm going to breathe in some more pollen. There's going to be so much sneezing. But with the pollen comes the flowers and the trees and the bright green leaves, everything growing and waking up, stretching its legs, just like us. Also, we kind of have to breathe. It's a necessary part of life. So we might as well enjoy it as much as we can. Feeling the breath moving in and out of us. Sighing nice and big as we let it out sometimes. The sighing's good for us. Beautiful. Last one here. And then from here, we're going to come right back in to sink the chi just one time. Letting those hands drip off the sides of the legs again. Floating everything up and around. Bringing in some of that bright springtime energy. And then their hands are going to slide right off again. Floating up. Opening out wide. And we're going to come back into that embrace the moon position. But then we're going to tap one foot in and tap it out to the side. We're going to take our moon, shrink it down a little to wherever is comfortable for you. And we're going to orbit it right around. Bringing it in slow, gentle circles. Just like it moves slowly and gently across the night sky. With the stars twinkling all around. Maybe a nice gentle spring breeze. Still a little coolness in the air. We're not to that summer heat yet where even the nights are hot. We're going to do one more orbit. Do something the moon can't do. We're going to change directions. Right as we bring it in close to our body, moving the other direction. Beautiful. Gentle movement. Even though we're getting super fancy. Going in multiple directions, getting a little crazy. We're still doing it with respect and love for our body. Beautiful. One more here. And then as we bring the moon in nice and tight again, we're going to step that foot in, open our arms out nice and wide, and do one sinking the chi. Beautiful. Floating up towards the corners, bringing it in, and then back out. And this time we're going to embrace the moon on the other side. Stepping that foot in and then out. And we shrink our moon to whatever size works for us. I don't care how big the moon is. Whatever feels right for your shoulders and your back. And then you're just orbiting that moon around, nice and gentle. And you know what? If the moon is a different size for this side of your, that's okay too. It doesn't matter. Beautiful. Now, not on this one, but on the next one. We're going to do that pulling it in nice and tight. And then moving the other way. Beautiful. You may notice that I'm leaning side to side as I my moon, letting my body shift on my chair. Your eyes do not deceive you. I am, in fact, rocking, maybe even cheek to cheek, shall we say. And you can do that too. Make sure you're nice and anchored, but let your body move as it is meant to do. Last one here. And then pulling that foot in as you pull your hands in, opening out, coming in to sink the chi. And we'll do that again. That felt really nice. Floating up towards the corners. Maybe even adding that heel lift. Lovely. One more here. The ends of our knees. Float them right up in front. And then we're going to pull them in and bring a little tiny moon right in front of us. Rolling it from one side to the other. Just a little bit. Maybe warming it up a little, just like the sun does with its light shining on it, warming it. You might even start to feel warmth between your hands. And then not this time, but on the next time, we're going to take one hand, drop it out to the side, and do a gentle toss. And then wave right back in. Roll that moon around and toss again. Perfect. Now, after this one, I'm going to switch hands. Super fancy. Again, not something the moon can do. Roll it around and then go to the other side. And if you're saying, I'm tossing the moon away, how am I then rolling it around? You know, that's okay. We have an unlimited supply of moons. They never run out. It's like magic. One more here. And then we're going to start alternating hands. One side. And then the other. And then we're going to add another piece. Build our technique here. As we bring that hand in, it's going to slide forward, pushing as the other hand reaches out. Both hands like to move at the same time. I like to both flow. Perfect. And then we have one last piece to build for our full technique of repulsing the monkey. As we toss out to the next side, we're going to step that foot back just a little. And then step it forward as we come to center. And then the other foot steps back. And we've put it all together to repulse the monkey. Why are we repulsing monkeys? I don't know. I've been told that they fling poo, so maybe that's why. But that's totally up to you. Maybe you like monkeys and you don't want them to be repulsed. No worries. From here, we're going to throw one more moon out to the side. And then we're going to bring the other hand over to meet it. Bring those feet back to center. Stretch up nice and high. And then sink down. As you stretch up, your heels lift like you're riding on a wave, your whole body floating up and then sinking down in the trough. Beautiful. On this next one, that front hand is going to push down through the water all the way down to your lap. and then float back up as your heels float up. Nice. Next, your other hand is going to wave in like you're splashing a few drops of water on your face. Down, one splashing in. And then super fancy. You're going to step all the way out to the side, push across, and then drag everything back. Push, 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 push. And then drag everything back. One more, like you're gently shutting a door. You don't want it to bang. You want to do it nice and slow and gentle. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to rainbow everything up and over. Drift it over to the other side. And then start our rise and fall again. Beautiful. On the other side, slowly doing our hula dance. That's what this one always reminds me of. And then adding that front hand, pushing down to your lap, and then right back up. Adding in our heel lift. And then waving in. And then both hands together. And then on this next one, stepping out for that big push all the way across, and then super fancy. We're going to flip our hand over and do a big spiral circle. Beautiful. And then push. This one is called Brush Me in a Twisted Step. And now we've put all the pieces of it together. Those big spiral arms, like the spiral arms of our galaxy. Beautiful stars floating in the night sky. One more here. And then rainbow everything up and over. Drift it across. And we're going to do one more round of that rise and fall with the hands, everything going together all at once. Our breath and our motion all linking together. And stepping out on this next one, doing that big push, circling around. Amazing. You guys look fantastic right now. Last one. Rainbow it over. Drift back across. And then everything going one, and then another. And then that big step out for our next one. As we push and circle. Last one here. Bring everything up and over for one last rainbow. Bring that foot in. Take your time. And then drag it back to the center. Open out. And sink the chi. One more. And then from here, we're going to bring our hands down to the sides again, but this time they're going to rise up to the sides a little higher, up overhead, sinking right down. We're going to go all the way down to our lap and then bounce right back up, circling out and around, nice and big, bouncing back up, sinking down to our lap again. This time we are going to sink the chi, just one. And then as our hands reach our lap, they're going to bounce back up, make that diamond shape. We call it a heart mudra, borrowing a term from yoga. And we push it forward, shining out, stretching, opening everything up. This is our heart opener. It's all about the heart, really. That love and energy, sharing and receiving. And then letting your hands sink down and doing it again. Hands dripping off to the sides, rising up overhead, like we're climbing the mountain. And then coming right down through the center, bouncing up like a slow motion trampoline, circling around, scooping up and under. Again, back to that heart space. And then our one, sinking the chi. And then bouncing back up. Make that diamond shape with your fingers again. Stretching it forward, maybe even a little further this time. Reaching and reaching and reaching. Shining out all that heart energy. Down. Last one. Hands dripping off to the sides. Floating up overhead. How high? I don't care. However high works for you. Bouncing up and over. Scooping under. Sinking the chi just the one time. And then our last heart opener. Even the person on the other side of the screen, reaching those fingers, feeling the energy coming back to you. And then relaxing everything down. Letting your hands rest on your lap for just a moment. Take one more deep breath in. Big loud sigh, letting it all out. And then take just a moment. Put one hand on your heart and then the other stacked on top. Maybe close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. And letting your breath return to just to thank yourself for showing up today. Just like I thank you for being here with me this morning. Thanking your body for the work it did. Your mind and your heart for sharing your energy with me. And I hope that I was able to share some of mine with you as well. One more moment, one more breath. And your eyes drift open. And I thank you so much for coming out today. I will see you next week.